It's DTS 107. We got the Cosmodrome reveal stream. It was very snowy, very cold, some interesting snow, and a lot of areas that they couldn't show. All that and more coming up.
You're listening to Destiny, the show.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Destiny, the show, the news podcast that keeps you, the Guardian, ahead of the curve in the world of Destiny. I'm BBK Dragoon, joined as always by my great co-host, Ditty. Your week was pretty busy, right? You were moving something called cubes?
Yeah, cubicles. So there's an office down the hall from us. And they were leaving the space, and they were going to leave behind all of their cubicles. They said, hey, you guys can have them if you want them. And we got very short notice on this. So we're like, or my boss was like, yeah, absolutely. These cubes are super nice. They got storage space. The walls are taller, and they're really awesome. And the thing is, we tried to sell our old cubicles on Craigslist or whatever, and no one wanted to buy them. So we just had to end up throw them away. So yesterday, I spent 3.5 hours breaking down old cubes and carrying them probably half a mile to the dumpster. Not that long. I'm exaggerating a lot. But across the parking lot, so to the dumpster, and it was just a lot of work, and did not get food compensation for it.
I'm sorry. What were they giving away for the food?
They had pizza around lunchtime, but
no.
I had to leave before then because
No.
I had a lunch with a friend of mine scheduled. So it's just like I did all the hard work, and I have to leave before food gets here.
Dude, I'm sorry. That's awful.
That's okay. I made up for it today by signing up for Google Fi, which is Google's cellular network. So I am officially switching away from AT&T and Windows Phone and getting a Google Nexus 6P Android phone, so I'll be able to finally use Tower Ghost Destiny on my phone, and I'll be able to play Pokemon Go finally.
Let's be real, the real reason is Pokemon Go, isn't it?
Mainly, yes.
Diddy, welcome.
Moving on.
Welcome to the future, my friend.
Joining the future, yep, that's absolutely correct.
Right. We played an Exodus Blue Trials run with you, M. Vito, and myself, and I think we've unlocked that secret to having the best Trials time possible, which is, at the very beginning, we all told each other, we don't care if we go to the lighthouse. We're here to do the bounties. We're here to get our 7 wins, and then if we get to go to the lighthouse, then that's just a bonus, and that made it one of the most fun Trials runs I've had in a long time, and it was just a good map, dude. Exodus Blue. It's one of your favorites, right?
Yeah, it's probably one of my favorite maps in Destiny, and the rewards were actually satisfying. The level 7 or the 7 wins reward, I got the hand cannon, and it has rangefinder, rifle barrel, which doubles the range, and hidden hand. So it's actually pretty good. So I'm really excited about having a faster rate of fire hand cannon than the Ice Luna and First Curse. I know those are 2 separate tiers, but it's a separate archetype of hand cannon that I haven't used in year 2 yet, and I'm really excited.
You would have to pry my cold dead fingers away from my Ice Luna and Grasp of Malak. I love those 2, man. Right now, it's just been my go-to weapons, the Grasp for almost all game types, and then when I'm in the 3v3s, I usually hop onto this Luck in the Chamber Grasp that is just, Luck in the Chamber Ice Luna that is so delicious, man. I played a bit of Iron Banner this week. Mixed experience. I've had quite a few people on Twitter sending me some negative reactions of this Iron Banner. You're battling a couple of factors here, and I think it all comes down to a decreasing population. We're seeing people fall away before Rise of Iron, and they're going to come back as Rise of Iron gets here. But, you know, with less players to choose from, we're on the Xbox One side, which is less populated than the PS4 side. You're going to have more and more red bar matches. And I'm not going to comment. My experience was mixed, but I think it's too small a sample size. When we give our opinions of Iron Banner, I think it always needs to be given with a grain of salt, or any matchmaking settings, right? Because unless you're playing a bulk amount of games, I'm talking like 100 plus, you're only looking at a very, what I consider to be small sample size, right?
Yeah, I would agree. And this was the last Iron Banner on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, I believe. So, at least
Rip.
for before Rise of Iron. So that's
yeah, because the support
yeah.
stops in August for them. So rest in peace, old gen. We're looking forward to seeing you join us on the current gen. Well, we had the Cosmodrome reveal stream. We had the weekly update. We know that the next big news dump is coming from Gamescom. Rumors of private matches are floating around all over the place. The Rise of Iron pre-order page was up for the PlayStation 4. And my favorite bit, which we're going to start with here in just a second, is the Taken King Collector's Edition digital items bug. So this one's fantastic. I just get a little smile because around last year at this time, people were getting their pitchforks out. They were furious about the digital collector's edition items. These are in-game items that were exclusive if you purchased the collector's edition of the Taken King. It was 3 class-specific emotes, 3 armor shaders, and 3 exotic class items with XP bonuses. And the reason people were pissed is like, you're giving XP bonus class items to people who buy the more expensive edition? And I'm going to be honest, I was not very happy with that. But then the Taken King came out, and I turned in some bounties, and level 40. Didn't matter. But these items are showing up free to people who did not pre-order, or excuse me, who did not purchase the collector's edition. If you go check your ready-to-install page on the Xbox, I don't know what the equivalent is on PlayStation, but these items are showing up for a lot of people, which is like, that's, cool to the people who get it free, totally not cool to the people who bought it.
Yep, I'm in that group as well. I have them. And to be fair, they speed up the reputation or the experience gains for the subclass, not necessarily just your Guardian. So you level up your subclass of its related whatever. So if it's your Night Stalker exotic piece, it levels up the Night Stalker subclass a little bit faster.
I like the shaders. I really like the purple Night Stalker shader. I don't own these, but I'm going to go check my ready to install to see if they're there, because I would like the shaders. Emotes were whatever, but I don't know. This is not much newsworthy things to talk about here, but it's never a good practice. I just think it's not something that should happen. You lose trust with somebody who purchased those items, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And, I don't really care, but even though I have them, but it's kind of like, okay, so now you're telling me I just wasted my money because now I just get them for free. So now I'm never going to buy the more expensive edition again because I'm going to get them eventually anyways.
Hey, Halo 4 had a similar thing where one of the DLCs, people actually got the maps for free.
What?
And they were associated, some of the elements that were with the collector's edition of Halo 4 people got for free. They tried to play it off like, oh, we meant to do this. It's going to go away in a week. We just wanted you to try it for a week. But man, that fiasco people were really sour about because there were more goodies associated with the collector's edition. Okay, so the Cosmodrome reveal stream happened this last Wednesday. It wasn't too long. I would say probably about 45 minutes in total, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, around that.
And I looked at the viewership. It seemed about 80,000 maybe was the peak. Maybe there was a 90,000 moment in there, but hovering in the 70s for most of the time. It was a different kind of reveal stream. I think I went into it hoping for a very tight, organized, let's walk you through the new effects, let's walk you through this new area. And it really was more casual, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would say so. There wasn't much of a script or plan in place.
Deej and buddies run around Cosmodrome and try their best to not show off spoiler stuff. That's what I really got, is like every time they would get close to a doorway, can we show this? Okay, we can't. All right, hold on. Throw up some concept art. And then they'd move on. Can we show that? Okay, no, we're not going to show that. You know what I'm saying, right? I'm not crazy in the fact that they really seemed like Deej just sort of hijacked a dev build of the game and took it down to the Twitch studio and been like, hey, you two, come with me.
I think they should really listen to this podcast because Deej and Buddies is a YouTube series waiting to happen. Like, that has to happen now. It is the greatest title ever, and it would be so great. Deej just takes people in the dev build and streams for half an hour and then puts it on YouTube.
And tells them, no, we can't answer that. No, we can't show you that, and we've got great things in store for you down the road.
Yeah, at one point they did say, hey, why don't you go in there and see if we can show this? And he ran in there. He's like, nope, coming back out.
I do like the element of humor. So I will say this before we get into the Gjallarwing stuff. It looks pretty. The snow, the spaces. I noticed some lighting upgrades in terms of the way it glows in the cold weather. A couple of the light sources and lamps in the buildings they were going through just had, maybe it's ambient occlusion is the word I'm looking for, but a different set of rings that interacted as you walked past it, the way the lens would flare and whatnot. And it's snowing, dude!
Yeah, it's snowing. We called it.
Particles.
Well, was it snowing or was it just wind sweeping the snow across the landscape?
Maybe both. Maybe both, Ditty.
Let's dream.
That's really the power of current gen. You can have blowing snow and falling snow at the same time. Pretty wild. Now, the art style of some of the Siva enemies I thought was cool. You know, there'd be tanks that had barrels sliced off, just literally sliced off so they could take it back and go augment their technology. The actual fantasy of this infected technology Siva was really cool to see with these giant, well, I'm just going to say it looked like a bunch of Jurassic Park raptor claws had slashed through the Cosmodrome and left this red hue burning glow on stuff.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And bigger spaces in the sense that we saw them getting into areas that were not originally accessible in the Cosmodrome.
Yeah, and we'll talk about this a little bit more later in the show, but there are areas that the Fallen have cut into, and we can now explore, like pieces of the wall that are just taken out, and we're just walking down the wall. I think that's actually really cool.
3 new sets of armor that were shown, and some reskins of weapons. No real new weapon models, it looked like. The weapon Deej was using kind of looked like a reskinned Nerwin's to me, just a little bit. Not the flared frame, but the centerpiece. The Warlock armor set, the one Deej was wearing when he danced, I thought that one looked far and away the most different kind of armor I've ever seen for a Warlock before. The Hunters looked very similar, and the Titans looked very similar, but it had the coolest New Monarchy shader ever, where all red, but little New Monarchy white emblems all over the thing. So it looked kind of polka dot-like.
Yeah, and this actually reminded me, you remember that glitch or bug that happened to that one guy? He posted it on Reddit, I think, of his Warlock. It looked like he just had a jacket on instead of a robe.
Yeah.
That kind of armor style, I really wish we see that eventually, because I thought that made the Warlock look super cool.
That bug happens actually quite a bit. I don't know if it's the particular one you're thinking about, but yeah, there's oftentimes I'll zone into the tower and I have no robes. So it just kind of looks like I'm wearing an SRL suit. But
that's awesome.
I would love to see more variations of the robe, right? They've done incredible art designs in this game, but what if there were more, like throw a leather jacket on? And maybe instead of a robe, it's a mini robe so you can show off those guardian legs in the hot Venus summertime.
Exactly. There's different lengths of hunter capes. Like, a jacket is just a shorter robe, isn't it?
True story. During year 1, I very specifically went for a cloak for my hunter, and I do not remember its name right now. I can pull it up on Dim in a second. But it's a cloak that would only drop between levels 10 and 12. And shout-outs to Sassy for pointing me to this one. It's this tattered, torn cloak, but it looked super cool. And the fact that you could only have a chance of it dropping between level 10 and 12, I had people in so many of YouTube videos like asking, what is that cloak? And I could just sort of smile like, you'll probably have to roll a new character if you want to get it, bro.
Transmog, please.
Transmog, please indeed. So, talk me through the real excitement of the stream, Ditty. The Iron Gjallarwing.
It's real. It is the Iron Gjallarwing, as they say.
Oh, I said Gjallarwing. Doggone it. I'm sorry. Don't tweet me about it, please.
They very specifically say, hey, you're tired. It's okay. That's what I'm here for.
Thank you.
The Iron Gjallarwing is available for those who pre-order, just like the Iron Gjallarhorn, but you can still acquire it, I think, outside of the pre-order. It's just the iron part that's specific to the pre-order. And it's a trick sparrow, and it looks really cool, and it was revealed to O Fortuna, and that was awesome. That was the song playing, by the way, if you don't know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about, bro. It leaked on a Mexican website a few months ago as a pre-order thing, or like a month ago, that this was real.
and
what you're talking
like,
about,
that's not real.
It's totally real. It looked like one of those Photoshop sparrows from the subreddit. So maybe that's where they got the inspiration. The way it works is if you pre-order the game, you have got access to forge the Iron Gjallarhorn, which is the black Gjallarhorn, right? And then if you pre-order, you also get the Iron Gjallarwing, which is that black Gjallar-skinned sparrow. Now, if you don't pre-order, you can still get the Year 3 Gjallarhorn. It just won't be the iron one. It won't be black. It's just a little aesthetic difference there. And
it'll still be accessible through the quest line. It's just not going to be the black skin.
Yes. And then with the sparrow, I'm keeping it in, bro. I always love the voice squeaks. The sparrow, you can get if you don't pre-order, but it won't be black, and you have to get it through Eververse. So you have to use real money to get it, or silver, or whatever. Fake Destiny money, which really is real money. I hope that made sense in the way that I said it, but before people freak out, everybody has a chance at getting the Gjallarhorn. If you pre-order, you get the black one. Not everybody has a chance at the Gjallarwing. If you pre-order, you get the Gjallarwing, the iron one, the black one, and then if you don't pre-order, you can buy a silver one from Tess. Okay, I'm tired. That took a lot of brain juice to actually explain. That's basically it with the Cosmodrome reveal stream, but we do know the next set of info is coming at Gamescom. When is it?
Gamescom is, I had the dates pulled up.
16th through the 21st, August. I got it. It's in my brain.
18th. It's 18th through the 21st.
Oh. Okay.
Almost there. So August 18th through the 21st, we're expected to see new game mode and feature at Gamescom. So Destiny is going to have a presence there. We are going to learn more about Rise of Iron when it's there, and it's going to be exciting.
I'm calling it right now. Your mic drop moment is going to happen. Private matches. That's not going to be the new game mode. They'll have like King of the Hill, yay, and also private matches. Woo! A feature standard in every modern game. It's finally here. Oh, it's thundering outside.
It's thundering in the Cosmodrome as well. So it's gonna be awesome. Private game modes, DTS prediction. I think everybody is thinking about that's what it's gonna be. Everybody's predicting that at this point. I'm excited.
So the weekly update this week was it freaking played the Twitch stream. Jeez. So I just opened the weekly update, and O Fortuna on the Twitch stream VOD, since it autoplays, immediately just blasted it like maximum volume and freaked me out because there's thunder outside. And if you don't know, that song starts with like, man. They've got great still pictures of the Gjallarwing over on the Gjallarwing. I can't say it. Got great model pictures of it on the site. Other than that, they had a big party with everybody at Bungie celebrating 25 years. And there's a picture of the projector screen all blurred out of something that has to do with their future plans. And I'm really disappointed in you, community. Where is the analysis video of this pixelated screen? I want to see somebody like, you can tell here that the green yellowish hue of these 14 pixels is most likely Venus, indicating that the next Destiny sequel will be on Venus.
The next Destiny sequel? Anyways, I think we need to highlight a paragraph from the TWAB. I'm going to quote Deej here. We have less than 2 months before the borders of the Plaguelands open to you. Before that incursion begins, there is much more to say about your next adventure. Next up, Gamescom, which we already mentioned, August 18th through the 21st. Our next Rise of Iron stream will come to you live from Germany. We'll crack open the new Crucible and show you what's inside.
Yay. Also, the 3A Hunter figurine is available for pre-order. Oh, it looks good. Oh, it looks good, dude. Do you like it?
I'm disappointed in it, to be honest.
You don't like the helmet, do you?
I don't like the colors, and I don't like the fact that it has an icebreaker. It does come with multiple weapons. It has a Fatebringer and an Iron Banner sniper rifle with a huge scope. I would have loved to see Last Word, to be honest. Last Word, Chaperone, or some type of sniper. But it looks good, but I'm just not going to get it.
Okay. Well, no problem there. Twab. We're twabbed out. The Destiny pre-order page is up for Rise of Iron if you want to pre-order on PlayStation 4. I don't think that the Xbox pre-order stuff is up yet on the Microsoft Store, but in the weekly update they said, relax, there's time to pre-order to get the items for Rise of Iron.
It'll probably be up by the time this podcast comes out.
Yes, and I wanted to include this because the bullet points for Rise of Iron say it includes new story, campaign, and quests, new armor and gear, new weapons, new raid, maximum light increase, new strike, new Plagueland zone and social space, new Crucible mode and maps, new enemy, faction, and bosses. Let's put a quick pause there. We forgot to mention in the Cosmodrome reveal stream, Deej had to go change his controller layout, and we saw that his light level was 355. Neither of us believe that's going to be the new cap, but we do think that will be, a lot.
Up there.
That made no sense.
It's going to be up there. Yeah, it's
really.
It's not gonna...
What do you? I'm calling light level 420. Come on, Bungie, do it. You know you should. You know you want to. 369. Make the internet happy.
I think 360 or 365 is a little bit more realistic ever since we saw the 355.
Okay, that would make sense. And then we can probably expect down the road, too, another little bump, just like the April update. All right, so back to what we were saying. The pre-order page says, new strike. Just one strike? One strike? Taken King had 4 if you count Echo Chamber for PlayStation 4. So, I don't know what to think of this. I bet you there's going to be some exclusive strike for this thing for PlayStation 4, don't you?
Yeah, of course, most likely. I think it's a good thing to mention here now that we have here in the notes that Rise of Iron, since we see that it's one strike, one raid, we think it's going to be more along this lines of House of Wolves size instead of the Taken King. We knew it was going to be a little bit smaller than the Taken King, but we didn't know exactly how much smaller. This kind of tells us right here.
Wait. What if I'm going to play the opposite viewpoint here, because either it's going to be smallish and we shouldn't raise our expectations too high, because let's be real, this Cosmodrome reveal stream was what I felt a little bit lacking. I went in expecting a bit more, something a little bit more organized, right? I'm not critiquing too hard, but what if they're doing a different attack pattern, if they're doing this differently? Because I kind of like being surprised. And I feel like we're going to go into Rise of Iron and be surprised about a lot of things. Hopefully they're pleasant surprises, but we're so used to, as a community, data mining everything, having streams for a month or 5 weeks that tell us every little bit of what's going to be there, that we're so shocked and flabbergasted when something like the Black Spindle happens. It's like, yo, you guys, if you get on right now and we go a different way and we finish it in an amount of time, you can get this exotic, but it's only today and we had no idea.
Stuff like that, exactly. It's going to be super awesome if there's some type of secret hidden away. And I think it's also good to mention that in the Cosmodrome Winter Tour, we got an insight to a larger Cosmodrome. I said before in the show, Fallen have cut holes into the walls and opened up a new space. That tells me we are going to have the regular Cosmodrome spaces plus extras. So we're actually getting a new, bigger Cosmodrome that's revamped, new enemies, and that's awesome because we're essentially getting 2 new patrol areas, because the Winter Cosmodrome is higher level end game enemies, whereas the old Cosmodrome is going to remain the same. Plaguelands also is being added in Rise of Iron. That's an entirely new patrol area. I think that's actually really, really cool because we're getting both new areas. We get to re-explore the Cosmodrome. There's going to be new things for us to find in the Cosmodrome, even though we've already been there before.
Well, it's almost like the original fantasy that we had for the moon when we went down there in the beta, and we could only fathom how big these caverns could go and what could be down there. Some giant rancor that turned out to be Fogoth, which was like, hey, we weren't too far off. But what's to say they can't go back and do that with the rest of the zones in the game? What if they can go back to the moon and Venus, Heck, look at Mercury. We know Mercury has more to it. Anybody who's been to the lighthouse has to go, what? Why is this here? Why are there spaces for vendors? Why are there doors that are locked off? You know?
Yeah, and I had a thought. Oh, yeah. So the reason they're revamping the Cosmodrome is because of the lore in Destiny, because of what you've done in the world of Destiny. We've taken down Atheon. We've defeated Crota. We've defeated Oryx. We've defeated Skolas. After all of that, the Cosmodrome is winter now. And it's new. New enemies are arising. New enemies are being brought back with the Siva, and they're using Siva technology, and they're taking over the Cosmodrome again. It redefines that never-ending battle to keep Earth away from the darkness, the Fallen, the Hive. And they mentioned in the stream, places in the Cosmodrome where we usually see Hive, we're probably not going to see them. And they're going to be in new places because we've driven them back.
I want to take it a step further than that. I can't wait till we get a really giant bad guy again who's orchestrating all of these things behind the scenes, who's pulling the strings of, the Siva coming together, Oryx rising up. Like, who is the next big baddie that we can focus on and work through multiple expansions to take down, kind of a thing? I'd like to see a true villain arise, and we've seen Eris being planted into the story with some foreshadowing of stuff to come. She's a character that's going to play a large role in the future, but I can't wait until we get to see, like, truly the next big baddie, some giant Thanos of this universe, right?
Worm God. Yep.
Worm God.
We're gonna see a worm god. It's in the lore already. Oryx devoured one and took its power. We're gonna see one.
It's worm with a Y, right?
I don't remember.
It's got to be, because then they're dragons. I like dragons. So that's really it for the news this week, you guys. Not a giant week, and of course, with about a month until Gamescom, it'll be interesting to see what happens between now and then. You can only talk so much and speculate so much, and here on DTS, both Ditty and I try really hard to respect the listener's time. We want this to always be a news podcast. People can hop on, catch up if they only have about 30 minutes, and feel like they're up to date with what's going on within Destiny. So we thank you guys for continuing to listen to the show. Our numbers on Podbean continue to be great, and on YouTube as well. We're plugging along during a very dry time. But Ditty and I just wanted to say thank you so much, and we are so hyped, dude. You're taking off, like, from work a little bit when Rise of Iron comes out to stream, right?
I'm taking off that whole week. I'm even taking Monday off. Rise of Iron's not going to even be available yet, but I'm taking that Monday off. I plan to do a pre-Rise of Iron stream that Monday and Tuesday morning because Rise of Iron drops midday for US. And I'm going to be streaming Rise of Iron that entire week over at twitch.tv/Destiny the Show.
You should set the category on creative on Monday and make Destiny-themed cocktails and food dishes.
Yes.
Paid stash, and it's just some kind of drink,
Yeah.
There's a lot of potential here. Actually, you know what? DTS community should tweet us at Destiny the Show their best idea for a Destiny-themed drink name.
Yes.
And what it would be.
Yeah.
So that's why
I have the means. I can acquire the material needed. I'll do my planetary run. And I'll get it done.
I wonder if mixology is allowed on Twitch. I don't know.
We'll find out.
DTS banned. In the news! No news! Where can people find your content?
Twitter.com/Ditty, DTS, DITTY, DTS, and YouTube.com/Wooshness, WOOOSHNESS.
Are you looking for people to play Destiny with, like-minded, kind folks? Well, then check out discord.me/Destiny the Show. That is our Discord for Destiny. We're going to be doing King's Fall runs, and we've been doing some Iron Banner games. I have been bad about it the last week, guys. I've only done one 3v3 night with a few people, so I'll be working on it. But again, discord.me/Destiny the Show. Check out our friends over at DestinyTracker.com, the best place to track your stats in the world of Destiny. I've heard that Guardian.gg is having some issues, so just go on over DestinyTracker.com. Say hello. Say that Ditty and BBK sent you. You can follow me at BBK Dragoon on YouTube and Twitter. And I think that's it. DestinyTheShow.com for all the links from today and more. We'll see you guys next week.